Okay, thank you very much. Authority power by bylined articles. Nothing gets you more authority in front of your target audience than being in a publication that they trust and they read every month, every week, depending on how often it's published, cover to cover. Anybody can take out an ad and say anything they want. Ads aren't trusted. But when you're in the text, when you're in the publication, then you're a trusted authority. And getting in the publication, editors are looking for content. They want educational, informational articles. They don't want advertorial. They don't want self-promotional. They don't want I did this. They don't want I built this. They don't want I saved this much money or I made this much money. They'll say, take an ad, and then you're right back to where, So they're looking for articles that they love, articles that are 5 myths. They're looking for articles that are 6 steps. They're looking for articles that are 7 ways. They know that the readership of their trade, industry, and association magazines are very busy. So they'll pick up an article, they'll read a little bit of it, and then they'll put it down, and they want to be able to come right back to it. So they love bullet pointed information that they can just grab a little bit of and then come back to. So in addition to the bullet points and the 7 myths and the 5 steps and the 6 ways, they love acronyms, the type of articles that spell out, how to become a great sales closer, CLOS. So I'm going to give you the acronym for what type of articles, ARTICLES. So articles, the A is for the audience that you're targeting. And Henry talked a lot about audiences earlier in his talk, so I can skip a lot of that. But the audience you're targeting, and you're targeting a very niche audience in this. How many people here have heard of the great Alan Weiss? Yeah, great consultant. You'll probably recognize him. He's posing on the hood of his new Bentley in every book he writes. So Alan Weiss always preaches what we practice. And he says it's more important to be in front of 500 people that can hire you than it is 50,000 people that is not your target market. So don't be afraid to be in niche publications. Don't be afraid to be in front of targeted publications. One of the magazines we work with only has a circulation of 600, but it's 600 hospital CEOs. And if that's your target market, that's more important than being in the Wall Street Journal. That's more important than being in Entrepreneur magazine, because that 600 hospital CEOs can hire you than maybe being read in Entrepreneur magazine. R is for the readership of decision makers. The decision makers, the owners, executives, entrepreneurs, the C-suite level decision makers that are reading their trade, industry, and association magazines, cover to cover every month. We hear from meeting and event planners all the time that they go to their trade, industry, and association magazines looking for speakers, looking for workshop leaders for their upcoming events, knowing that if you have that stamp of endorsement, if you have that credibility to be in their magazine, you have it to be at their event, because the readership and the audience are the same group of people. And the editors of those association and industry magazine have their thumb on the problems of the industries. So when they deem you appropriate to be in their association magazine, you're appropriate to speak at their upcoming conferences. So R is for the readership. Excuse me, I need a little sip here. Thank you. That's my Rubio imitation for those of you who know the senator from Florida. T is for the tense you use is you. When you're writing an article, you want to use the you tense. You may have this problem, here's how you can solve it. You may be in this situation, here's how you can make it better. I is great for your book, I is great for your speech, but in your articles, no I's, we's, or me's. If you want to use the you tense in your article, one reason is going back to the editor. If you want to say I, the editor's going to say take an ad, take an ad, take an ad. Also, when you write the article in the you tense, the reader is more likely to see themselves in it and play, and follow along with it. And then when they get to the bottom of the article and see your bio paragraph and see who wrote the article, they're more likely to say, you know what, they're right, I need to call them. I need to follow up with them. This is me, they can solve my problems. I'm going to give them a call. So the T is for the tense you use is you. I is for the instant stamp of endorsement and credibility. We kind of talked about this a lot. Whether you've been in it for 2 years or for 20 years, whether you're introducing a new subject, whether you're introducing a new book, whether you're introducing a new product, when you're in a magazine, when you're in an e-zine or a newsletter, it looks like you've been doing it for 20 years. They don't know that you're brand new at it when they read you in their industry or trade magazine. So instant credibility. C is for the content you're utilizing. Don't reinvent the wheel. Don't think you got to go out there and scrounge up new stuff. Use your keynotes, use your workshops, use your blog if anybody still writes one. Use your YouTube videos. These days, a lot of times they're using AI to write articles. It's getting a lot better. A year or two ago when AI was first coming out, editors could tell AI articles from non-AI articles because AI articles looked like they were written by third graders. But these days, they're much, much better. But don't think you have to come up with new content for articles. Use what you've already got. L is the leverage above your competition that you're going to have. When meeting and event planners see your articles in their trade and industry journal, they're going to know that you're the one that they need to hire. Bureaus do a great job of presenting their clients. But when they get a call knowing, from a meeting and event planner, knowing that they need a speaker for their upcoming event, and they shove all the one sheets and the CDs into an envelope and send it off to that meeting and event planner, and that event planner's dancing around their conference room going, eeny, meeny, miny, who should I hire? Oh, wait a minute. This one had an article in our trade journal last month. They're the one I need to hire. That's the kind of leverage you're going to get about placing an article. And E is from the excitement you're going to get when you have a meeting and event planner call you directly. This happened to a client we had just the other day. I pitched out their article back in September. It appeared in the February issue of a trade magazine, and they got a call from an association that wants them to come and speak this summer. And it happens quite often, and they were just thrilled about it. They copied me on the email that they're like, hey, I got a call on it, and so I'm like, thrilled about that they actually let me know about it. So that's when they call you directly, that's so exciting. And S, of course, is for the search engine optimization you're going to get. Everything is online these days. Even when it comes out in print, it's going to be online. And since your URL is going to be at the end of the article, you're going to have all of those hot links pointed directly back to your website. So it's going to give you incredible boost to your website. So that is the acronym for articles. This part you don't have to record, but I have a little announcement I would like to make, a little something. Next month, I'm going to take another little sip here now that he's Secretary of State. Is that what he's doing? Yeah.
And that's one of
yes,
many.
something like that. I don't keep track anymore. Next month is the 15th anniversary. Thank you. Next month is the 15th anniversary of my purchasing PRPR from its founder, Pam Lontos. You'll notice on the flyer that the agency is actually 25 years in existence, but Pam Lontos, the founder and president, had it for the first 10 years ago. But 15 years ago next month, I purchased it from her. Now, Pam always gave a discount to NSA members because she was very heavily involved in the National Speakers Association. So she always gave a discount to NSA members. So when I took it on, I carried the same discount forward to certain organizations like Indie Books International, friends and family like Indie Books International. But because I'm in my 15th year and doing a little celebrating of that 15th year, I've decided to give an extra little discount. So I have that traditional discount that I always give to indie friends, but I'm going to give an extra little 5% off because it's my 15th year. And then I've decided to get to 15, since that's the number, if 3 people decide they want to work with me. If the third person joins me this weekend while we're here, I'll bump all 3 of you up another 5%, and that's how we'll get to 15%. So the traditional discount for the event plus 5% for each individual, but then if 3 of you decide to work with me, I'll do another 5% for those 3 for a total of 15%. So let me know if you want to talk to me. What? Then I'll do 15 for multiples of 3. So, yes, so come in, and if you want to talk to me, I'd be happy to chat. So, thank you.